And we are back with part 2 of coaching up the Tren Twins back workout. Today, guys, we're gonna go over the traditional T-bar row. So guys, keep your eyes glued to the screen and your ears glued to the speakers, and let's learn some stuff. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Traditional T-bar row. Number one, what is it good for? What is the benefit between doing traditional T-bar row or your chest supported T-bar row? Well, some obvious reasons, maybe not obvious. It's my confirmation bias. Here are some reasons. So if we're looking at actually developing an entire back, this is one of those great exercises to really get your best bang for your buck. Why? Because we're going to be in a hinge position and we have to create our leverage just like we're doing a bent over barbell row or a Romanian deadlift. Being in this position like this, to do the lift, if you're doing it right, and we're engaging our core the way we should, this part of our back, our erectors, are going to be working just as much in an isometric hold or isotonic or just a static hold. This is holding us in position while we do the row. There'll be a little bit of movement from here, but again, your lower back is gonna start to work a little more, which is not a bad thing at all. You need to have strong erectors. You do, 100%. There's no argument about that. This is a good exercise to do that, right? So if we're gonna pick like 3 good exercises to do, we wanna go from top to bottom, some kind of a high row, some type of a mid row, cable row or whatever, chest supported row, and then some kind of a hinge row that's gonna help us develop our lower back, our erectors, right? We're doing like a back to bicep and we do that whole Christmas tree thing. That part, that's gonna work there. Now, a couple things that I see that we're gonna optimize right away. We get the traditional pull our chest down to the bar or to the weight type thing. And as cool as it looks to have 45-pound plates like Ronnie Coleman did, and he's sitting there going, yep, 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 yeah, it's cool. It might look nice. It might look cool because it's big. You're using the 45-pound plates because that's how you get your rites of passage to being swole. Right? The smart thing to do is actually, if you want to get a full range of motion, is to get a smaller plate, right? And I'll show you the reasons before we get into form. But if I'm looking at getting some, we're here and we're, rowing and here we go, right? This is all I get from here, right? And then here, like all the way down the ground is great, but if I let this thing roll to the bottom here, I'm still almost basically could retract it a bit, right? So, get like a 25, a 35 or a 25, right? You're gonna get a greater range of motion. So I'll give you an idea of, use like a 35 and a 45. Traditionally, this is how much we don't have to worry about to dodge when we're doing the pull. So, we're gonna get inside here. Ooh, look at that range of motion. That ROM is beautiful. All the way up here, look at that. All the way up, and then on the way down, I'm not touching the ground because I can do a little bit more of that protraction and pulling in. So that's a little tip you can use next time you do traditional T-bar row, right? We don't have to use the 45-pound plate all the time, all right? I've done it before. Now we made a little bit of a change, and we're gonna use maybe the 35 or the 25. And you can stack if you want, obviously. You're not gonna just do one plate, but Johnny, if you only use 35, that's 10 more pounds less. Well, do more plates. Right? So be smart about it. You can put just as many plates on. I can promise you right now, this thing is probably gonna hold, I don't know, 10 of these things? Who's doing 10 of these things? You aren't, all right? So shut up, chill out, all right? And to the big meathead bodybuilder out there who's like, I can do 10, then do 10 plates and get 4 range of motion, right? Sweet. So to keep things consistent, because most gyms are gonna have this, right? They're gonna have this lovely old handle that's perfect, hasn't been changed since it's been made. Right? I'm not sponsored by them, so we're using this. Anyway, so here, obvious, you want to have this thing right to here. Definitely not down here, and please not here either, right? This is dumb, okay? So right here. Now, here's how we're gonna do this, because there's a lot of issues when people just kind of get in here and they just start pulling. They're just kind of doing this kind of thing. Or they're like so far back and they're like this, or they're like really far this way and they're like, right? We got to find a way to make this make sense. So what I like to do is, what people don't do is get the bar, we're gonna lock it underneath. We're gonna treat this like a deadlift, have my bar, my attachment. I'll stick it underneath. Get both hands on it. I'm gonna sit down like a deadlift. I'm gonna let my butt hinge back. I'm gonna push it back and sit down. And again, someone's gonna tickle my armpits, right? I'm locked in from here, and then I'm gonna stand up, right? I'm gonna kind of find my placing. I'm like, okay, here you go. It's nice and close to me because I want it to be literally like this, close to me. I don't want it to be out like this. This makes no sense. So think about it as like a bar, being close to you where it's almost touching. And now from here, I'm going to do a Romanian deadlift, same as before, right? Or same as a bent over barbell row. We're gonna push the hips back and sit down. You can watch how the weight goes all the way down. See that? That's like perfect. Look at it, right? Let's do it again. Just came to the gym. I'm gonna do T-bar rows. All right, yeah, man, sweet. No one's using the T. Oh, this is the best. Everyone's usually on it. Grab this here and put it underneath here. I'm so close. I'm gonna get lock in it. I'm gonna stand up. All right, let me adjust myself first. Okay, cool. There you go. And then I'm going to hinge down. And there's your range of motion, right? Now that we figured that part out, how do we optimize this lift? Again, we want to get the full range of motion. There's two cool things we can do. One, if you're a beginner, we can kind of treat this like a pendulum row. While you're here, the row starts and finishes on the ground, fully protracted. Once I hinge back a little bit, it's already coming up like a deadlift, right? Engage my core and then pull and all the way down, right? I'm getting full protraction from just a full range of motion of this being right on the ground, right? Or do the same thing, right? But we just kind of come up a little bit with a little bit of tension here, right? Now, if you look at where my feet are, I'm not doing this. And this is what I see this a lot. Doing this sucks on my back right now. Right now I'm just like, yo, how much longer I talk about this position because it's really hurting, right? This doesn't help. Remember, the hips are back. Finding your center of mass. This big thing here is gonna push back. This weight thing here is gonna keep me pretty much weighted, right? So from here, coming up a bit and then letting it protract, pulling in. Right? Now, what you don't want to do is pull your chest down to it. We want to be in a nice position where we're locked in here, and this is going to come up here. We're not going to pull and do all that range of motion. It's like, what is this? Oh yeah, I'm so strong. Sweet. No, right? We're going to be here. Set yourself up a bit. Down, control the weight, and if you look at my hands, look at my whole body, if you look at my back, full range of motion, look, right? Scaps are open, scaps are closed. Scaps are open, scaps are closed. Scaps are open, scaps are closed. Okay, so I'm gonna do a set. I've added some weight so you guys can see, because I get a lot of comments. I want to see you do that with some actual weight on there and control the weight. Okay, cool. So I'll do that. And it makes sense. So very valid, right? People want to know, like, well, man, does your form continue just to be consistent when it's heavier? Yes, that is the whole point. Progressive overload while your form doesn't mess up. And then guess what happens? You work through that full range of motion and you're getting muscles in places you never even thought you had. Like, actually, I get the comment all the time. Yo, John, I never knew I had that muscle on my back. Which one? All of them. You right? Anyway, so we have a 25-pound old school plate. So we know this is heavy. It's probably way more than 25 pounds, to be honest. And then we got this one here, 35. And we got a 35. They're flipped the other way because it's easy for me to put things on. I don't know why. It's just how I normally do it, just so you know. Like, so just look at the damn plates. God, shoot. All right. Anyway, so this is heavy, right, ish, right? So let me show you what it looks like when I'm setting myself up. We come in here, because I know that this is only gonna come up if I do it the proper way. It's the only way this is allowed to come up. So I'm gonna walk in, right? Set myself up. see when it's going down, I'm reaching, but my lats are still engaged, right? My traps aren't in, I'm pulling in. And a lot of leverage is coming right through my glutes. Calves, glutes, hamstrings, erectors, core, and everything else is moving. Like that. And that's how your traditional barbell row should look. Wink! Anyway guys, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. And if you guys use any of these cues, let me know in the comment section below. And guys, if you like the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know I'm a couple that tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth. And for coaching guys, johnsheep.com. If you want to know more about my coaching, book yourself a 15 or 30-minute consult. At the end of the consult, I deduct it off any package that you pick. Also guys, hit the description below for those discount codes and promo codes that will save your life or change your life for the better. Like Johnny 10 for 10% off bluestarnutraceuticals.com. Anyway guys, add me on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I repost it for you, because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.